This is a Croissant, and this is a Croissant rock base 2x1 with 2 bunkers in it. You can do 3 bunkers. We are just going to show you the 2x1 core. You could do a better wide gap than what I did here anyway. It is going to be very nice and very easy. You're just going to go inside your disconnectable external TC here, and if you didn't see that, that was 956 metal and 656 stone. That is a very nice and very easy external. 950 metal, 650 stone, disconnectable. You can do a different kind if you want. We have a nice easy shooting floor entrance here from the ground level. That is a bit easier to get in when the ladder hatch is not already open, and then you just have a nice shooting floor here. You could do whatever you want. We just sort of freehand this shooting floor. Again, it is just for the 2x1 core, really, how to do the floor stack bunkers in it, and we have a nice jump up here to our rock base front door entrance. And this is going to put us right on our same shooting floor that we just came in on the other side. Do our front door airlock, and that way we have access up here. So this is our main. You want to jump up on top of the rock just so you can clear your area. But we do want some downstairs access into here. And you can make these garage doors, and this is just some nice utility area here. And coming into our 3rd floor here, you're noticing the floor stack. And we do have a piece missing here. This is up to taste right here at this floor, because down below here is our bunkers. And as you can see, you can use a bedroom, storage, whatever you want. Then down below here, we have our first bunker. We can just place a floor here and then a floor here and seal it. And now we have a nice HQM bunker. And then coming over here, notice again, this is floor stack right here for our TC. We have our second HQM bunker. Let's do the same thing just like this. We have an incredibly simple upkeep of 2k stone, 2100 stone, 14 wood, 65 HQM, and around 2500 metal. This is going to be incredibly easy. Again, only 65 HQM for this little thing. It's going to be 30, it's 68 with the seals, with all the bunker seals, but it's going to be 29 rockets just like this. And it's going to be very nice and very easy, perfect for a solo. You can do it for a duo. Again, you can do better wide gaps, bigger wide gaps. You can go up a story, beef it up. We're just going to show you how to do the floor stack core inside of it and do this base right here. It's going to be super nice. And all right, it's super easy to build. Once you find your Croissant rock, you're just going to want to put a 2x1 back in here. We are going to floor stack it after it's been built, because it's going to be a lot easier with binoculars than anything else. So just going to put one square as far back into one corner as we can, while still maintaining the width of a TC like this. And then we have this one nice little square that we can put a window or a double door. We're going to do a double door because we could probably fit a locker back here. Yeah. And we're just going to do a double door like this, and we're just going to make sure we put our 2x1 like this, and we can maybe build back there or something if we want. Make sure just this is wood and that is wood, and then everything else here can be stone. And then we'll have a nice starter base like this. Put the TC down in here. If you have a locker, you could put it back in here. Then we could seal this up with a double door and a single door, just like this. And when we are ready to expand, we want to add the floor stack with the binocular. Again, you can do this at the start. You have to break like 14 pieces of twig, and you have to wait for all those 14 pieces to despawn. Anyway, you're going to do 2 triangles out in the front like this, 2 half walls. Jump up here, triangle floor, low wall, square floor, low wall, binoculars. Back yourself in the center here. And then you're just going to find that big squiggly. You're going to zoom in with the binoculars as far as you can. Find that big squiggly that's right in front of you. Little squiggly. Line up the right side of that circle with the right side of this little squiggly here. You don't want to be too far on the edge, just right in the side up there. And then we're just going to go above the twig right here. Make sure we didn't stray too far to the left or the right going up. Hold Alt, building plan, triangle, foundation, just move forward. Should be kind of snappy and snap like that. And now we just added that floor stack. Now we just want to not upgrade this and don't be outside with a bunch of HQM. And you just want to ensure that you can add all of the triangles here. And that everything is blue here. Everything is blue. So we're all good here. And we can demolish all of this. And we can put a spam triangle out here, and this will just be as far as we go. You can expand to a larger base, but this is just as far as it is. And you can upgrade these right here. And we'll get this one from on top of the base. We could do this one right here. This one will be sheet metal because we won't be able to see it again, nor will we be able to see these. Upgrade these and then do stone right here. And then we could do our bunker ones right here, which we can upgrade from the inside later. And then seal all this up right here. We barely use any resources so far. And now we're going to spam the tops right here. And you could do them accordingly to the position. 2 walls in metal, 1 wall on the outside stone. You do a frame for your bunker above your jump up. That's why we left those 2 pieces wood. And then we're just going to do 2 floor stack pieces right here. And you can seal it into the rock. And now you can create your jump up for your bunker. And you can place this on the low if you want one down there. That's what we are. We can't have one down here and up there. So what you need to do is, since we need to hatchet these out for our bunker pieces, and we want to put a full wall right here. Now we could put something back there, maybe with a raised triangle or something. Upgrade these from the inside. Pick up your locker. Pick up your double door. Upgrade everything here. You do the same thing for HQM. And you want this floor HQM, and this twig right here will be your bunker seal like this. And then since you can only have one of these doors right here, I like to have the raised floor, the raised door up here. You're gonna need a ladder or a ladder hatch to get up there, especially with the terrain. Or you can add a floor, but then it gets kind of messy. So you just want to upgrade this. And this is 2 layers on top of the TC, and this is just 1 layer for the bunker. And then we want this for a second bunker layer all the way up here, because we get to do it again. So we're just going to come up here. Hopefully we can get the construction angle here. We can. That one probably doesn't need to be HQM, doesn't matter too much. And we want a frame on the high right here, and a floor on the high HQM. And then floor high here, and these can be sheet metal because there's going to be HQM beneath it. And we want a wall right here to make sure they're not going to be able to get that gap. We could upgrade that above and do HQM here and HQM here. And then again, we can put this frame here and it'll stick through the floor because it'll be on the raised one because we won't have a door down here. So we won't be able to place this door, but we'll just seal our bunker with this floor right here. We have the same thing here, but if you notice, you won't have the stability here until you do the frame in the middle. And then you could do your twig floor and bunker seal right here and break that out. And now you have 2 bunkers on the 2x1, and it's floor stack right here, and then HQM and door. And now we can go ahead and upgrade everything here. And we can put a little HQM in the rocks over here. You almost always be able to do this. Again, the construction angle right here. And if you need to do that right here, you can't really, but we'll just be able to put this in the honeycomb. Anyway, we'll go like this. Once you get to the 3rd story, you don't really want to do a bunker because you do lose your side raid cost right here. So this can get a little tricky just with this footprint because you have such a small thing right here. So we're just going to do like a jump up right here inside the 2x1. And then that way it could still be like floor stacked. You could do ladder hatch stacking or anything like that. And then we'll go ahead and seal everything up here. And this can be honeycomb that we can make sheet metal. And then this can just be a pseudo honeycomb floating in the rock. And then we can have a Pacheco right here, like this. And a hallway right here. And we can have another 2x1 jump up. And this is just a nice 2x1 triple bunker right here. And you can do this a better direction. Yeah. Put this down here. Back up here. And then you can have this for your wide gap entrance later. Like this. Then you can do a rock top entrance up here. And you can do whatever you really want up here. If I'm kind of far back in the rock, you could do it when it's not this far back in the rock. Then you can just do some Patricos right here. Like that. And then when we want to do our wide gaps and honeycomb, we do want one layer of honeycomb like this. And I can go ahead and speed this up in metal. And break those twig center pieces right there. And then you can do this floating honeycomb in metal or stone, doesn't really matter. Kind of redundant. And then we're just going to do regular wide gaps, and then this should be in twig. We're just going to do regular wide gaps, so 3 squares out, come back with a single hexagon and a square. And I kind of want this as a triangle. I should have just done 2 squares out. I'll flip it over to a triangle. If you want to do 2 squares, just triangle, same thing, less twig. Just like that. And then we can create a bunch of different wide gaps. And you can go around like this. You want to keep some of these for frames for floors. Or you can go all the way up like this. And just make a solid standard wide gap thing. We'll just do something really cookie cutter and easy. And then we'll just go make a standard TC that could stay soft side like this. And we'll just go out this 4 squares, raise triangle, then break the square before that, the 3rd square, put a triangle right there. And this should be external TC length perfectly. And then we could do a full wall right here on our triple raised triangles, very standard. You could do a different style of external TC if you want, but this one's really nice and easy, and we're just going to have a big soft side to shooting floor thing here, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to do a roof right here, and then a floor piece in there to connect it, and then we just want metal real quick, and then we could do a bunch of different frames up here. And we want it in the center for stability. Out with a bunch of frames like this, and then you can do a bunch of triangle floors here. And we should leave one for a floor to wide gap area. And we are very lackluster in the wide gaps here, so you can go ahead and put them up from this. You won't be able to do it we did this one right here, just so you can get some like real sawtooth style wide gaps. So I'm able to get them on the sides right here that overextend a bit. Just push them off like this. Then we can go ahead and do Bunch of windows right here. Looks like we can't get a window right here. Okay, looks like we can only do this. Doesn't make any sense. Looks like we could do this. We just can't do this. Over here. It sucks. But we'll just do like whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just to look down at the rock. Yeah, like this. And, oh, we could do a triangle roof like this. No, we can't because of stability. What about from here? There we go. And we can make that a frame so it's even more better. So it's even more better. And then we can go ahead and do that same thing over here. Put a frame off the core to kind of cover that angle. And we can go ahead and cover up this right here. And then you can cover the actual stuff with something like this. Or something. You want no actual gaps, and cover some stuff like this, and then put a window here. Video like this, so there's barely any actual gap on your roof. Except for right there, or just do it with all roofs like this. I've seen them doing it like this. I thought I could make a cool peak. Then you cover those rooftop things right here, and then you have a nice ladder hatched netting entrance right here, up from the ground floor to your shooting floor. And then with these patricos right here, I kind of fumbled on that. You can kind of put like a window right here and make another patrico, or you put this roof. But I did kind of fumble on that crawl space right there. So now you have a bunch of peaks in this little peak shoot down, and then your double bunker core, and then your 2x1 entrance up here on the top. For super nice and super easy. We couldn't do these, so we could demolish these and this. And super nice, super easy croissant base. Super nice, super easy.